What the fuck are you supposed to be? Solo Leveling is the best anime I ever watched until... What? What the... Are you... You can't be serious. Devil May Cry? Are you out of your fucking mind? What the fuck? What the fuck's with your wrist? Solo Leveling? Really good? What? And Devil May Cry is really good? You fucking limp-wristed? You're wrong. What? Delete the video. Delete the video. That anime was dog shit. Delete it. Solo Leveling.
Take this video down, dude. The show was definitely its own thing and was inspired by the games. It never said it was gonna be a one-to-one of it at all. I don't know why y'all can't shut up and stop with these clickbait-ass videos just to down a show of something we all love. How you see it, you're not gonna invest in making a manga to a game. One-to-one, show both the series, and you have no rights to complain to the people who do. We haven't gotten anything animated like this since 2007. Y'all sound like you'd rather have nothing than something. Also, as an anime fan that just came from watching Solo Leveling, which is peak.
Holy shit. Oh my god, that was a nightmare. That motherfucker said Solo Leveling was peak anime. Fuck. Okay.
Hello everybody. First thing I want to say is I've got many videos coming in regards to this anime. I've got an everything wrong with Dante, everything wrong with Lady, I've got everything wrong with the show in general, then I've got an animation and art style comparison to the original show, so on, and we're ultimately going to do a review of the other anime from 2007. And alright, let's hop into this topic today. We are going to be discussing these comments and some of these so-called Devil May Cry fans. As you could see, the top one here is the one that was just mentioned. If we scroll down, he says, "Lol, back at you, buddy," in response to my LOL. Then we've got this jackass down here. He replies to Honcho, "Where have you been? DMC fanboys are the most saddest pieces of shits of the gaming community since 2008. And this is coming from someone who finished every DMC game, even that downgraded trash that was DMC 2. You know what's so funny about this, though, is it's like, how you cannot tell me for a split second that you are a Devil May Cry fan if you haven't spotted the obvious flaws in this dumpster fire of a anime. For you to sit there and actually pretend and try to convince me that you are a fan of this series, you are... good luck. You save your I don't want to say breath, save the little weak, frail little muscles in your fingers and your wrist. You know, your wrist is probably fucking hanging sideways, so you should probably reserve that energy because you're gonna need it. Before we go into a few other things, I want to move over here to this comment. Now, this guy wasn't a jerk, but he did say a few things that I completely disagree with. He says, "Look, I'm a massive DMC fan." Again, I find it really hard to believe, because I've been playing all of the games as well since I was a child, and I feel very differently about this than you do. Been playing the OG version of 3 since I was a child, and have played all games until completion as well as the reboot. This show is not nearly as much of a spit in your face as you're making it out to be. First off, it's not canon, never was. We knew this when rumors of production came out. Lady is, yes, very annoying, but of course she's going to be different. Dante doesn't just smoke her because, hey, this isn't the Dante we're used to. He's clearly not as much of a powerhouse. Most of your criticism boils down to it's different, which isn't valid because we have no idea where they are going to take everything. Now, I wasn't a Castlevania fan before the show, but I absolutely adored that show. Excellent writing, characters with great chemistry, and I didn't pick up on anything really, quote, bad with that show. The only common thing I can see is it's different from the source material. It's the same authenticity argument that's ruined comic book movies and convinces people that animes are trash because they are not scanning copies from the manga panels. This isn't the Devil May Cry we know, it's not canon. Take it on its own merits. Scrolling down. I said, this isn't a good DMC product or general anime product. It offers nothing to either audience, terrible anime, and there are way better stories out there. This is worse than the bottom bunch of Isekai stories, where it's a teenage boy entering another world. Lastly, this is Devil May Cry, Don't Cope. It's in the goddamn title. The fact that this is the hill you want to die on is atrocious. It doesn't help that Adi Shankar claimed to give a shit about the OG games. And I got a response. Look, dude, you're free to hate it just as I am free to like it. However, saying it offers nothing to any audience is ridiculous. Also, Isekai, this isn't Iruma Goes to Demon School, it is Devil May Cry. Adi, also clearly a fan of the IP because both Enzo and the White Rabbit aren't known to the average viewer. Whether you like his adaptation or not, he did research the source material to translate it to this show. That doesn't scream disrespect to me. I'm also an Australian fan, so maybe the quote terrorism stuff is a sliding past me more than a US audience, but then again, who cares? It's not the forefront of the story. Yes, the VP is a radical religious zealot. I don't really grasp why everyone's saying it's Christian bashing, because it is. He's clearly an exception to the rule. Also, the Order of the Sword from the games is kind of a jab towards organized religion. Are we going to shun Itsuno's writing team for that, or the jab at corporate greed in DMC 2? It seems to me more than anything that Adi is trying to give a rock and roll attitude to the show. Are you out of your mind, man? I'm not going to really try to be rude to you because you've been pretty polite about this, but are you kidding me? A rock and roll feel to the show? Really? Really? No. Hell no. Number one, the show is shot like it's a Powerpuff Girls episode. But if we're going to do an alternate spin on a franchise, don't you think we should at least, I don't know, catch some of the atmosphere from that franchise and then spin on it? I mean, what I'm saying is this may as well be another whole IP. There is nothing here that resembles anything except character names. That's it. And arguably, okay, Dante wears a red coat. Anyways, it seems to be more than anything that Adi is trying to give rock and roll attitude to the show. Sure, they made the demons more sympathetic, but are we forgetting who basically told the demons to go after themselves? Dante. He sided with humanity just as Sparta did. That's as DMC as it gets. That's such a weak pushover ass comment, man. Alright, so listen. There is a big confusion amongst a lot of people who claim that Adi cared about Canon. I'm going to go into that right now. Okay, so we used Grok, Deep Search, to analyze some of the stuff throughout the web about interviews in regards to what Adi Shankar had intended. Now, he did not promise, so this is a bone I'm giving to them, to stick strictly to the DMC game canon for the anime. It seems likely that he intended the anime as an alternate universe, drawing from the games but not bound by their canon. The evidence leans toward Shankar being consistent with no proof of flip-flopping on canon promises. There is controversy among fans about changes to lore, but this reflects expectations, not broken promises. So there's your bone. Now, going into why a lot of these people who say these things are completely ass backwards was because Shankar was not completely honest with us. Because one thing that was confirmed is this. Now, this is the problem, people. People are saying, well, he said he was going to create an alternate universe that doesn't portray the games or anime, so you're wrong. Stop complaining. Know what you're getting. Well, listen, you can argue that, sure. But I will argue this, that you know what he did say? That he was going to have an accurate portrayal of characters, as mentioned in the CBR article. An accurate portrayal of characters is the furthest thing we got in this show, which, mind you, the alternate storyline and away from our timeline, that wasn't even the biggest problem. In my review video, I complained many times about timeline. You could argue that there is no timeline because this is alternate. But what you can't argue is everything I ever said about any of the characters in the show, which is the biggest problem with the show, besides the animation art style. So when you sit there behind your keyboard and you tell us fans that we're wrong, no, you're fucking wrong, and that's why. These statements indicate Shankar aimed to honor the spirit of the characters, but within the context of his quote-unquote bootleg multiverse and alternate universe framework. The problem with the quote-unquote alternate universe as a justification. Your argument, me, that an alternate universe doesn't excuse completely changing characters while claiming authenticity is a strong one. If Shankar used unreleased lore to inform his portrayals but then altered the characters' personalities, motivations, or dynamics in ways that feel unrecognizable, it undermines the claim of accuracy. For example, Dante in the games is known for his cocky, carefree attitude, exactly what I said, the nonchalant, often cracking jokes even in dire situations. If the anime portrays him as overly serious or emotionally burdened, which he is, without balancing that with his signature humor, it could feel like a betrayal of his core identity. Isn't that something? Wow. Nice one. All those Devil May Cry fans just always crying bitch. No. What you don't understand is nobody ever really complained about the complete show's accuracy besides the fact that the characters are not the fucking characters. So how the hell are you gonna even call it a spin-off? Anyways, if these kinds of changes are pervasive, it's understandable why you'd feel the characters were quote-unquote butchered. An alternate universe can justify new storylines or settings, but if the characters' core identities, those traits that make them are lost, the adaptation risks alienating fans who expect to see the Dante, Lady, or Vergil they know and love, even in a new context. You dumbasses. Why this feels like a betrayal. Shankar's claim of working with Capcom to ensure accurate portrayal sets an expectation that the characters will at least feel true to their game selves, even if the story diverges. If the anime instead delivers versions of Dante, Lady, or Vergil that lack their defining traits, it can feel like a bait and switch, promising authenticity but delivering something else entirely. This is especially frustrating for longtime fans, the real fans, who see these characters as iconic and expect adaptations to respect their established identities regardless of the universe. We're going to end it there. If you like this video, subscribe, leave a comment, like it, please. And you know what? I will see you in the next Devil May Cry video, many to come.